220 kg deadlift, a 190 kg squat, and a 130 kilo bench press. A lot of you ask me how I get all this information that I put out on the YouTube channel, and the answer lies in my coach, Mr. Binny Sreedharan, someone who's been at it for 20 years and who's heavily into powerlifting. In fact, one of the few core powerlifting junkies in India today. Binny Sreedharan, sir, welcome to BeerBiceps.
Hi Ranveer.
Hi. So, sir, how did you get into fitness in the first place?
Okay, initially I used to be a sportsman. I used to play cricket. I played Mumbai University and played under 19 also. So I was always passionate about fitness. So once my career got over, I started, taking interest in fitness. Did couple of certification courses. That's how I got into it.
And how did you get into this whole powerlifting lifestyle? Because you were the first person who introduced me to powerlifting. So how did that start for you?
Strength was always, something which I enjoyed. Not only that, I was a fast bowler. Anything got to do with speed, power, strength, that was something which I always chased. And my body type was also where, I could push heavier weights.
Yeah. So, Sir's been lifting for more than, I think, 15 years now. He's one of the best lifters I've ever seen in my life. And I just want to talk a little bit about how I met Sir initially. So I keep talking about how I was a fat and unhealthy kid with shoulder problems. What you guys don't know is that I used to be a brown belt in judo and I had these horrible judo injuries. And I got introduced to Sir because of my injuries. Initially, I started taking up something like weight training just to fix my shoulders. But because of Sir's scientific outlook towards things, I absolutely fell in love with fitness. So Sir, what was it like when I'd come to you as that fat kid with curly hair and those messed up shoulders?
So initially when you came in, my whole approach was to give you a training program which is evidence-based rather than, my own approach or thought process. So I assessed the injury, then based on that I made a program. And you get carried away, especially when you get a person who's already trained martial art. You tend to, get carried away and try to push heavier weights. But you need to have a program, a set program, and work on that path rather than shifting from there. So the initial progress will be very good and faster. Don't get carried away with that, and then go slowly whatever path you have set for the client. So that's the approach I took. The initial part was very difficult because I remember you couldn't abduct your shoulders.
Yeah, I couldn't even do like a proper
Absolutely.
back squat at that point.
So that was, keeping that in mind, the program was very difficult to design. So we got through that, and then I saw your passion in lifting heavier weights.
Yeah.
It was not like I was pushing you into it. But you were inclined towards lifting heavy.
Yeah. Okay, also you guys keep hearing this science the shit out of it phrase and how we bring science into fitness. That is a concept that I've entirely got from Sir. So Sir, how did you embrace something like biology and put it into something like fitness? You actually don't see a lot of Indian trainers doing that. A lot of Indian trainers, just whatever they've learned, they apply that to all the clients. But the one thing I've seen different about your training is that you make sure that you treat every client individually and you bring in a lot of scientific aspects into things. So how were you introduced to this whole thought process?
I was always passionate about science, what science has to offer. Especially in this field, it's like solving a puzzle. Your experience doesn't matter so much. It's all about you're collecting all those evidence, putting it together, so there's nothing like one size fits all. So you need to have a program for each client based on their past history, their current fitness level, their goal. All these things has to be taken into consideration before you jot down a program for the client.
So now on BeerBiceps, we keep promoting power bodybuilding, where you're combining the best aspects of powerlifting with the best aspects of bodybuilding training. Once again, that's something that Sir's introduced me to. And more importantly, Sir's been at that process for about 15 years now. So Sir, you're 42 years old?
Yeah.
So what are your goals now, from now on? Like as someone in their 40s, have you seen your strength levels drop? Have you seen your lifts drop a bit? Or are they going up or are they staying the same? What are your goals for the next 10 years?
Okay, now I've got a goal for next year. I want to reach 250 in my deadlift. That's my goal.
250 kgs.
250 kgs.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. But like you said, as you age, there will be degeneration. There will be strength loss. you will have to at times pull back, and then go to the next step. The recovery will be slowing down, so you won't be having the same kind of frequency. The kind of frequency
you have to take that one day off.
Yeah.
That's the biggest change when you get older. So basically, whenever you get older, you just need to give more importance to something like rest.
Right.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing. I'm not trying my PR very often now. Now I try it like once in maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Okay.
Earlier I could do it, every 2 weeks.
Okay.
But now I take little time because the recovery takes more time. Now I work on form, come back and work on certain other areas, then try to go towards my PR.
So at what age did you start seeing this drop in strength, where you started giving importance to something like recovery?
So heavy lifting started quite late in my life. Normally a sportsman would start in maybe early 20s, mid 20s. But my thing started way after I crossed 30. So I was under the impression that, once I cross 40 also I'll be able to maintain the same strength level. But once I hit 40, I saw a tremendous, drop in strength level.
Okay. It was just an overnight thing?
Yeah.
Okay. That's something a lot of people need to understand. I keep talking about long-term fit lifestyles. A lot of our viewers are from the age of 18 to 25. This is the strongest you're ever going to be in your life. And you need to anticipate that if you're not going to do steroids, your strength levels will drop at 40. But again, the key is to stick to the process, just like what Sir's done. And that's why I also want someone like Sir who's been in this process of lifting so long to give you guys advice. So Sir, for the average young lifter, especially those 16 to 21-year-olds who've just taken up weight training, what's your biggest piece of advice?
The biggest piece of advice is the exactly same advice which I gave you. Don't get carried away with initial strength gain and have a long-term goal. Keep a goal for a couple of years. That will allow you to not look out for shortcuts like using steroids, those kind of substances to see improvement in strength. So I would suggest have long-term goal, work slowly towards achieving it. That will help you in the long run of lifting heavy.
Again, because you've been in the field this long, I'm sure you've seen changes in how people perceive fitness, changes in the attitude of younger people towards fitness. So what have you observed, like especially in India, in a place like Mumbai, what are the biggest changes? How do people look differently at fitness now than they did say 10, 15 years back?
Okay, now 10, 15 years back, I don't think there was, fitness so much.
Yeah.
Even with sportsmen, when I'm training, sports people, fitness was not such a in thing. When I used to play, fitness was never given so much of importance. So skill was one of the main component of playing a sport. Now fitness has got into this industry has become really big. So I think fitness has a very good future in India. But again, word of caution will be like for youngsters will be don't look out for shortcuts. You have to go through the grind. That's when you will achieve your goal the ethical way.
Yeah. So that's that from today's BeerBiceps video. I thought it's super crucial that everyone who watches BeerBiceps gets introduced to someone like Binny Sir, who's educated me so much, who's given me this whole science the shit out of it lifestyle, and most importantly, who's made me fall in love with fitness. Now, what I honestly feel is that Sir is one of the best trainers in India, and I'm talking from my own experience of lifting for about 4.5, 5 years. I've met 1,000 people, and there's no one whose knowledge compares to Sir. If you want to follow Sir's fitness journey, make sure you follow Binny's Fitness Lab on Instagram. I will be linking it in the description below. And until next time, guys, from Binny Sreedharan and Ranveer Allahbadia, see you.